Good morning, afternoon, or evening, beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome to the What's Next Community International channel. Today I'll be doing a market outlook video, and this will be the first of many market outlook videos. I base my strategies on supply and demand. I try to find out where the specific areas of resistance or support are within the market, and then I give them to you in a clear and concise update. So why don't we go to the charts and you can have a look at what we do at the What's Next community channel. All right, so I'll make myself small here and let's just dive right into the charts and see what we have here on Bitcoin. So basically what I'll try to do is I'll try to give a Bitcoin update every single day, and then maybe if there are opportunities in the market, I'll give other updates as well. So I told you guys earlier that my strategies are usually based on multiple confluence points. So I try to trade based on supply and demand. I try to trade based on Fibonacci. I try to trade based on volume profiles and basically create a picture of where the orders are in the market, so that when we move to those specific places, we will often see a reaction there. Now, when I trade level to level. So I try to always approach the market from two sides. So you'll see these two zones right here on my screen. And these are supply and demand zones. So for me, basically, if we analyze this area, I can use this fixed range volume profile tool. And what we can see is that the bulk of the volume was in this specific area. So I was looking for shorts from a specific confluence point right here. So I use the Fibonacci retracement tool. You can find it on the top left of your screen. And then you just drag it down here. And this will give you levels of potential lower highs, or when you're in a downtrend, higher lows. So we can see that there was an area of resistance right here at the golden pocket, which is 0.618 to 0.66. Don't get confused by these levels. You don't have to instantly understand them. Just know that there can be a support or resistance right at those specific levels. So we saw a reaction on this level, and then we pushed through it. So if I look at this chart right here, and maybe I can decrease the range a little bit to just the move that we saw right here, then we see that there's a clean move to be mirrored. So in the market, you will see that those clean moves where you don't have a lot of choppy price action, they get mirrored very easily. So if we look right here and we look right here, we can see that it gets mirrored perfectly. So then if we go above this choppy area where we see there's a lot of volume with the volume profile, that means that if we push above it, that there's a clean move to be mirrored. You don't see a lot of volume in this specific area, and you see a clean move to be mirrored. So then we can go on top of this and basically move to the next supply zone. So that's the way I like to trade, and most likely we'll see a reaction on the first point I'll be looking at, which is this specific point right here. So we have 52,347, which is the bottom of this supply zone. It's also, if we look at this bigger trend, it's also at the 0.618 at the top, right where we rejected at first. So we can do something that's similar to a sort of a cup and handle formation, right? We have the cup and handle right here, and we can basically do exactly the same right here. So we move up towards the significant resistance, and then we push, we go down, we go to the next area where we previously had resistance, and then we continue upwards if we are going to have bullish momentum. So that, with all these things drawn on my chart like a beautiful, beautiful Picasso, we can see that the previous resistance that we have broken right here around 48,000, that we have to retest that previous resistance if we are going to reject that 52,350 area. So that's basically what I'm waiting for. I'll be looking for longs from this specific area right here. I'll be looking for shorts from 52,350. And yeah, these moves will basically mirror in the entire market. There is one small contingency, and that is that we see a drop currently in the altcoin dominance. So what I did is I did 100 minus Bitcoin dominance, which gives me the altcoin dominance chart. It's a little bit different from what you're used to, because normally people have the Bitcoin dominance chart, but I like to use the altcoin dominance chart, which is just 100 minus BTCD. You can get this chart by just doing 100 minus, and then you can say BTCD, and you'll get this specific chart. So the first level I was looking at was also some sort of a cup and handle formation. So basically this happens a lot in the market, right? You see a significant high, then you make a pullback, you get back to that high, and then you get a sell off or a retracement, and then you see the continuation upward. So I'm looking for this specific pattern to play out again. But as for right now, this means that a drop in altcoin dominance will mean that if Bitcoin is rising, altcoins don't specifically get the benefit. Why? Because it's more attractive to be in Bitcoin than it is to be in altcoins. So because we see this break down through the EMAs and we see this retracement, you can expect that we hit the supply area on Bitcoin, and while moving towards that area, you'll probably won't see as much bullish price action in the altcoin market, which is visible right here. We don't see any movements towards the altcoins, even though Bitcoin is rising. That's not a big problem, because following the money flow cycle, money will move from Bitcoin to high caps, mid caps, low caps, and micro caps. So we can position ourselves right now, not in Bitcoin itself, but we can look for the opportunities in the altcoin market. So what I like to do is I like to think, I'd like to use Bitcoin as my guidance when I manage my altcoin position and when I take trades. And based on those specific price points, I like to manage my altcoin portfolio. So when Bitcoin reaches that supply area, for me, that's a sign that we can see a retracement on Bitcoin. Then I'll sell some of my altcoin positions. And then when we have that retracement, I can scale back in, and then I make money on the difference between the 1 and the 2. Now, I do this with a small percentage of my portfolio, maybe 20 to 30%, or I use a short position to hedge my overall spot positions. The reason why I do this is because you're not always right in the market, and you need to have exposure at all times. In my opinion, if we are in a bull market, you want to get that exposure, and you don't want to open yourself up to the risk of missing either sides. So by doing this, by selling at this level, I take profits on some of my positions, and I now have the cash to buy those dips. So very often you will see that people don't have the money on hand to buy the dips, and that's because they don't have a strategy like this. So I hope that you learned from this market outlook. I hope that you can prepare yourself with the strategies that I just gave you, and I hope that I will see you again soon on the What's Next International channel. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.